Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Uh, I want to start this presentation with an apology. I'm currently writing my exams, and because of this, I've not been able to record videos and teach you what you need to know about making akara. But I want to tell you that this is the weekend, and tomorrow I'm actually going somewhere very. What word will I use now? Very isolated to record all the old videos. So I'm going to be uploading more videos for you tomorrow. But today I want to show you the fourth step of making the perfect akara. And the fourth step is grinding. All right, let me remove my face, the usual thing I do, and then share my screen. So we just get started. All right. Okay, so this is the fourth step to making akara. I told you earlier that there are six steps, there are six levels if you to make a perfect akara. The first level is selecting your beans, that's going to the market and getting the best kind of beans. Second level is washing the beans, washing or peeling the beans, and that's why I told you that you should not let the beans soak water. You should just make the beans wet for 2 minutes and then push and pull to remove the shafts, and then use the basket, use the sieve to remove all the shafts of the beans. And then I told you about adding pepper and onions. I told you that you can either dice it or you can grind it together. Now we are now in the fourth step, which is the grinding. This grinding so let's start from what engines you use to grind. So what engines do you use to grind? You can either use this Binatone blender, or you can choose to use this grinding machine. This grinding machine is something every one of us know, because it's a really popular thing around. People pay money to grind with this machine. But I want to give you a pro tip. If you go outside to try and use this kind of machine, this public machine, if you go outside to use it, it's most likely that they use this machine to grind other things like corn. What do they grind again? And dawa. They grind kola nut, what do they call this? Tiger nut and all. And these particles, once these particles enter your akara, it will not give you that taste, that natural akara taste you like. One of the things that make our akara stand out is because our engine, we use it to grind only akara. We use it to grind any other thing. So if if you cannot get somebody that will use his grinder to grind only, dedicate his blender to only grinding beans, only beans, then you can just go with the other option, which is getting a blender and then use that blender to grind only uh beans. But you can use grind other things, but it has to be really washed and clean, so the particles do not enter inside the akara, inside the beans, grinded beans. So there are three ways to grind beans. You can grind it together with onions and pepper, or you can grind the beans alone. You will dice the pepper and onions using this. The second method, you have to dice the pepper and onions and just pour it inside the beans after you have grinded it. Or you can just grind the beans with only onions. Whatever option, anyone that suits you is great. It's going to give all these options are going to give you great taste. They're going to give you great taste. Let me call it again. You can grind it together with the pepper and onions. That's when you just put the beans, grind it together with pepper and onions. That's when you just put the beans in a bowl and then put your washed pepper and your washed onions inside the beans. Or you grind the beans alone. You, after grinding the beans, then you cut your pepper, you dice it and pour it inside. Or you just grind the beans together with onions and then dice your pepper and pour it inside. Whatever method suits you is great. Everything works fine. So you need to make sure that the beans is grinded very smooth. I said very like 5 times because that point is very important. See, if you are going to make akara that there are still beans particles inside, that's not what you want. It's not going to give you great taste. Somebody will be eating your akara and then the person will be eating raw beans together with the akara, and that's not what you like. Grinding your beans very smooth might take you some time, but it's worth it. It's worth it, because when you're enjoying this perfect balls of akara, you won't even know that it took you 3 tries to grind the beans smoothly. So let me teach you how to grind. Let me teach you how to grind your beans smoothly. So the first time you grind it, it's still the same normal process. If you're going to be using a blender, grind it the first time. It's not smooth. Grind it again till it becomes smooth. Akara does not spoil if it is grinded to be very, very, very smooth. If you are grinding just to get that smooth texture, don't worry, nothing will happen to it. It's still going to be tasting perfect and fine. So this is an example of a smooth beans. I want you to see that there are no particles in these beans. There are no particles in these beans. It's just the plain beans, and can you see how fine and good looking it is. So how do you make a bean smooth? I've said this before. You grind it more than once. It's okay to grind your beans more than once, or 2 times or 3 times. The smoother it is, the better your akara will turn out. So pro tip, also while you are grinding, make sure that you cut the onions into smaller parts, so the workload is easier on the engine or the blender, because these machines can break down if the size of the onions is too much for it. So always make sure you cut it into smaller parts, so you grind it, the engine will grind it faster, and also it will not break down. You don't want your engine or your blender to spoil just because you want to make akara. So this is the end of this module. I hope you understand what I said, and then don't forget that I'm always active to answer all your questions. I'll see you in the next level. Cheers.